We got 4? Let's go. Can we get 5? No, probably not. But let's go. Let's do it, right? How's it going? My name is Mike. Welcome to the channel. Today is October the 22nd. Tomorrow is the big day. And when I say the big day, I mean we are going to have our declaration day for MSTY, among other Group D ETFs paid out by yieldmax. I'll list them all right here for us, but the main purpose of this video is to talk about MSTY, MSTY. yieldmax made the decision, 6 weeks ago to group their ETFs in 4 separate groups, along with 2 weekly pairs in YMAG and YMAX to distribute that money and those dividends out in 4 separate weeks. So tomorrow's headliner is MSTY. The reason you're watching this video is because of MSTY. That is going to be my second biggest holding right now in the account that I'm showing you. So that's my second biggest holding is MSTY. My biggest holding right now is NVIDIA NVDY. And so NVIDIA trades and pays out on the second Group B, and then MSTY is Group D. So these are my 2 top paying dividend ETFs. And so like I said, tomorrow MSTY is going to send out the declaration on how much they're paying. So this video, I want to talk to you about MSTY. I want to talk to you about some things I've heard on social media about buying into MSTY, what to expect, and what people are hoping for. So the first thing is I want to talk about what people are hoping for. Now, because MSTY had a delayed payout here of 2 weeks, people are hoping for the moon and the sun. And I don't blame them, right? MSTY had a pretty good month. Its underlying stock is mstr MicroStrategies, and it had an incredible month. Now, when an underlying stock has an incredible month like mstr did, it doesn't always translate to the ETF here at yieldmax. So I'll give you an example. Sometimes MSTY, they'll set their calls at, let's just say $200, but mstr flies to $250 as an example. Then we weren't able to capture some of that upside. Now, recent changes over at the yieldmax fund is that we've started to do these, I keep saying we. Yieldmax fund managers have started to do call credit spreads. And so call credit spreads are there to capture that upside. So I want to provide you an example of that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the yieldmax website, and we're going to take a look at their holdings right now. And this has nothing to do with the payout tomorrow or the payout on Friday or how much we're going to get on Friday. This is going to be for next month, but I think it's advantageous to take a look at it. So go ahead and bring my face down here. And let's just see if we can find a couple of examples of that call credit spread here. So the first thing I'm looking at is it looks like a synthetic option up here of $195. Now, mstr stock itself today is at $215. So that one's looking good. As long as mstr can stay above that synthetic option, then that's good, right? We'll continue to scroll down here, and we will take a look now. Generally, the calls, the weekly calls have a minus sign next to them. And they're also closer or sooner due dates. So October 25th here, we have one at $230. So the hope and the dream is for mstr to not be above $230 by this Friday. Another one at $210, and that's less shares. So $210, less quantity here. So right now, mstr against $215. So it's over with 3 days left to go. But then we can see the same amount of number of shares, but without the minus sign above it here. And it's at $240, $250. Now that's the credit call spread. And what's a little bit strange, what the MSTY fund managers did, it looks like they went ahead and made that quite a bit higher. So that's $32 higher. Maybe they needed to do that. I don't know, but that's quite a bit higher. Now that's supposed to protect us on the upside. So if the mstr MicroStrategy stock takes off, that's supposed to support us so that we can make that upside as well. And last week it did work. Last week we had some good numbers coming from MSTY. So that's good to see. And then up above here, $230 and $270. So a $40 difference. You can see it's the same amount of shares, just one without the minus sign. So these are the credit call spreads that I'm talking about. Do I agree with the with that massive number? Could we not have made it 250, 240, things like that? But I mean, why so high? Why so high? I'm gathering with Bitcoin and its recent swings. Let's take a look at that. Bitcoin's recent swings. The people at yieldmax said, "Wow, it's very volatile right now. Bitcoin is making a move up and down here. So why not put it at 270 and what was the other one? Two 270 and 250. Yeah, why not make it that high, right? But yeah, so Bitcoin is up and down. Now again, MicroStrategy has a 1% stake in Bitcoin, so whenever Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy goes up and vice versa. So that's the last 5 days of Bitcoin there, down just $57, 0.08%. It did have some highs here of 69,000 just the other night. On overnight here, it went over to the $69,000 mark twice. So Bitcoin being volatile, and which is fun to see for sure. It really helps. That volatility helps out the price of MSTY, right? MSTY is playing on volatility of MSTR. And so if MSTR itself is volatile, then that's going to help us make money on our calls, right? So that's good news for sure. So MSTY stock itself today, $30.69. And I saw a lot of things in some social media groups that I'm in. Should I buy MSTY? When should I buy MSTY? And should I buy MSTY at this price? Is it going to go higher or is it going to drop? Well, one thing is for sure. So when MSTY pays out its dividend on Friday, or for some of us like me, on Monday of next week, the share price should drop with the amount of distribution that we receive. So my prediction, and I'm just a guy, right? I'm just predicting for fun. I haven't sat there and analyzed every single penny, but my prediction is $3.19. Let's see how close or far off I am. I'm hoping for more, obviously. Can we get 4? Let's go. Can we get 5? No, probably not. But let's go. Let's do it, right? Let's get 5. But I'm thinking 319. That's my number. Sticking to it. Could be way off. You guys tell me if I am. But we know that the share price most likely will drop $3.19, whatever the distribution number is. It'll drop that. So if that's the case, is it going to go to $27? When's the best time to buy? For me, I have it up here, actually. Let's take a look. You can see here's my trading account. $18,372. I want to go over those numbers with you shortly here, but I want to take a look at MSTY itself on my account. Does it say my average cost? Yeah, my average cost $26.20. So I'm not a huge fan of buying this over top of my average cost. If you take a look at MSTY, a couple months ago, it was all the way down to $19. And if you look at it a couple months before that, it was at $45, right? Let's go take a look at MSTY as an example here, right? So in March up to 44.90, and then down here in September 1907. So what a climb it's made, up $11 and 50 odd cents in a month and a half. That's pretty incredible for sure. So when people say, should I buy it at $30? Well, you really shouldn't be asking people that question unless they're a financial advisor, and they probably don't know either. It really depends on you. What is your risk tolerance? What are you hoping for this fund? Are you hoping for income? Are you hoping for growth in the stock? Do you think it's going to go up to $44.99 again? And what's how's your stomach? Because if this thing drops from $30 that you bought at today or tomorrow down to $19, are you the type of person that's going to panic sell, say, I should never have bought this? What are your goals? That's what you want to think about before you buy anything. What are my goals? What am I hoping for? What do I think this is going to get to? What's its potential? Everything like that. So I want to talk to you about what it's done so far. And I found this on yieldmax's website. So it's had 6 payouts so far. And there they all are, right? So the first one was $4.12, $2.52, $3.03, $2.33, $1.94, and $1.85. So you can see the distributions have come down a little bit. But you know, if you add all of those up, it's just over $15 it's paid out in 6 months. And so the share price today is 30. So if it was to continue its progress and do exactly what it's done so far over the next 6 months, then I mean, that's another $15 potential in income. And it's important to remember that you need to know what you're in these funds for. Are you in it for growth, or are you in it for income, or are you in it for both? If you're in it for both, $30 might be a little bit high to purchase this at. If you're in it for income, everybody's stewing and you know, thinking and outwardly saying that this distribution is going to be one of the highest ones yet because it's 6 weeks. They did pretty well. They made a lot of money on their weekly calls, their synthetic options. So if you're in it for income, maybe that's a good decision to make. But understand the share price will drop by the amount of dividend. So maybe if you're in it for a long term, wait until that X dividend date and then buy it then at a lower rate. These are all options, and you really need to think to yourself, what am I in it for before you make that decision? Please don't let anybody on YouTube or social media sway you in any way. It's up to you to make that decision for yourself. For me, I am trying to get to $500 a month in income from MSTY, but if the share price is above that $26, maybe I hold off and I go buy something else until MSTY comes back down, if it ever does. I think that might be the best idea. And just yesterday, or actually today, this morning, I went ahead and I doubled my share count of Coney. So if you're a longtime subscriber of my channel, thank you very much. And I took a little break in between recording there. Work was getting in the way. It's not always the way. You got a job to do. You got a job to do, right? So I'm recording this now a little bit later, and the markets have closed, and we had a major upswing in price of MSTY. So you can see down below here, it closed at $31.11 to close the day out here. And also Mr. stock itself went up just a little bit here at the end of the day, up 65 cents, but it was down just a little bit as well. So I wanted to go over my portfolio with you a little bit here. Coney, I went and bought another share today. I'm seriously contemplating if it stays around this level and it can maintain this $14 level of buying a few more shares. So it really depends here with MSTY and the price of MSTY. If it can get below 26.20 on Monday when I get paid from the dividends, then I'll buy more of it. But if it's hovering a little bit higher than 26.20, then I may end up just going to go buy Coney. Tell me if you think that's a good idea or not. But I do want to have 6 pillars of income. Right now, I'm not diversified at all. You can't see this behind my face, but I'm 59% allotted to Dividend and 35% allotted to MSTY. The other positions, GameStop, just a terrible purchase, but I'm diamond handing that thing. 4.6. I got hmax.to. This is a Canadian play on the banking system. Canadian banks are amazing, except for TD, which is, what are they accused of? They had to pay like billions of dollars for smuggling something. I don't know. But HMAX, just 2 shares of it. It pays 17 cents a share, which is pretty decent for a $13 ETF. And then I've got Coney up there, just 2 shares of that as well, 0.20%. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to be next after I fulfill the MSTY dream of $500 a month. But I do like AMZ a lot. Nestle was looking pretty darn good. Phoebe's looking good. And then you got your round hills, right? Your XDTE, QDTE, and RDTE all look promising for sure. So I'm not too sure which one I'm going to do next. I have recorded videos on PLTY. Probably not going to buy PLTY either. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe I take that $1,000 in distributions next month and I go out and buy 100 shares of Rocket Lab and write some covered calls on that. We'll see how we feel, and we'll see how it goes. Also, I also just made a video about taking money and profit taking 10% of my distribution and putting it towards the mortgage. Still thinking about that today. Just so you know, I got my first paycheck ever from YouTube. So I just wanted to say thank you very much to all of you for, tuning in, subscribing. I'll put up top here this way my goal. So my goal is to get to 2,000 subscribers by December 25th of this year. So if you can help me with that, that would be cool. Hit the likes, hit the little bell notification to get notified of my videos. And so you can watch them again in the future. But what I did with that, the money from YouTube, just for talking to you all day, is I put it right to the mortgage, straight from account to account. And you know what it did? Because it was my first check ever, it wasn't a big check. It was just, and I got taxed like crazy. It was only $114, so I put that right on the mortgage, and that reduced the amount of time we're going to be paying by 2 whole weeks. So let's see if that continues. If you can imagine, right? Just a small channel here making a few $100s a month, putting that onto your mortgage, that could really go a long way for sure. Just the small payments. So anyways, I just wanted to jump in today, talk about MSTY. It is looking really good. It is definitely an extremely great ETF so far. It is blown my expectations out of the water. Getting, for anybody that signed up for MSTY right away, over $15 in distributions in 6 short months is pretty incredible for a ETF that you probably paid around $21 for. So you should be pretty happy with yourself too. For me, I've only had 4 distributions so far, not quite that $15, but I'm definitely happy with the progress it's made, and I'm excited about the future. I'm just nervous about that share price. Will it keep going up? And my average cost. That's all I'm nervous about. So again, one last time, if the price is above $26.20, I'm probably not going to buy any come Monday, and I'll go buy something else. And then we'll reassess every single month as we go along there. So guys, my name is Mike. This channel right here is called Health and Wealth. You've tuned in so many times, and I really appreciate your loyalty to my channel. I just wanted to say thanks again, and I hope that you have an awesome night. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.